I want to take a few minutes to show you an interesting variation of a M1 Garand service rifle. This particular weapon was lend-leased from and issued by Denmark to its troops in the late stages of World War II and post-war. What makes this rifle interesting is it had a very long service life with the Danes. They eventually got rid of them in the late part of the 20th century, 1990s. They were returned to the United States, where they were consequently offered for sale to civilian shooters. And what makes the weapon interesting is how the Danes maintained and continued to use the rifle all the way through the period of about 45 to 50 years. And they continued to upgrade them, rebuild them. And this rifle is a classic example of that rebuild program. What we have here is a Springfield Armory made rifle. It's a late post-war 2 million series rifle. And what the Danes have done over the course of the years that they've had it is rebuilt it I don't know how many times. But I was lucky enough to receive this one from the civilian marksmanship program in basically the condition you see it, which is like new from the rebuild program. And what makes them unique and a little bit different is the Danes made stocks, replacement stocks for the rifle. They used beech wood, which is a very distinctive type of wood, has this very distinctive grain pattern in it. They also made barrels for the rifles. This particular one features one of those barrels. It's a VAR marked barrel. And they also, because they couldn't get any more rifles from the United States, purchased rifles from Italy, M1 Garand rifles that were made in Italy. And this rifle features a number of components that are Italian made that were used during its rebuild. What we have here is one of the things that I had to do to the weapon. When they came into the United States, the Danes had removed the bolts from the weapon, so they had a mishmash of different marked bolts. Denmark had a habit of numbering the bolt to the actual rifle. They also did the same thing with these stocks. They were numbered to the weapons. And I had to find an Italian bolt to place into this rifle that would headspace correctly. What I got with it was a very, very well-worn Winchester bolt. So I took that out and replaced it with a Italian-made bolt. And most of the components on this weapon, the small parts, are Italian-made. The sights, the operating rod, the trigger housing assembly are Italian-made. Small parts such as clip latch, handguard, clip. Oh, what else? Sights, front sight, they're all Italian-made parts. And you'll find these marked for PB for Pietro Beretta. You also find them marked BMR or BMB, and that stands for Breda Meccanica, and BMB stands for Breda Meccanica Brescia, Italy, and BMR stands for Breda Meccanica Romano, which is the Rome-based manufacturing facility. And BMR's Breda's, mainly they manufactured the smaller parts. BMB manufactured larger stuff, barrels, bolts, receivers, and BMR manufactured smaller pieces, hammers, triggers, clip latches, that sort of stuff. So that's what the difference comes in there. What I have with this rifle, I was lucky enough to acquire a Danish-made sling for it. I have a Danish-made bayonet. I was also lucky enough to acquire a couple cases of Danish-made ammunition, which is excellent shooting ammo. This stuff's dated 1980. It's non-corrosive. Really, really good shooting ammo. And when I opened up the butt trap of my rifle, it came with a Beretta marked combination tool, chamber cleaning brush. There was a little jar of Plastilube in there. And then I also came up with one of the original, this is a late post-war American-made combination cleaning kit, which is just a pull-through cleaner. It has a space for cleaning solvent and a space for grease. So this is a really, really neat, really, really nice shooting rifle. It's one that's not often seen. All these handguards are birch. They're not walnut. I'm not terribly sure if the Danes actually made these or they acquired them from some other source. The Italian-made rifles all had a walnut. They used a French walnut, and most of the American-made rifles came with walnut. So these are kind of odd. They came with the rifle, and I'm not terribly sure if the Danes actually made handguards or not. They did make the stocks. And if you happen to acquire one of these rifles, these Danish-made barrels are well known for being extremely accurate. This particular rifle shoots extremely well. I just want to take a few minutes to show you an interesting variation in M1 Garand rifle. See if anybody out there may know something about them. And I'll show you something here real quick. A lot of people say it's hard to get the trigger group out of a M1 Garand. It's really, really easy. You can take a punch, and this worked with either the stamped or the forged trigger housings. Just insert it in the back, pull down, and those will pop right free. Let's see what this out here. Set this down. And the Danes did a rebuild on here. They put a little label on the inside of the stock. Can you zoom in on that, please? And this shows that this gun was rebuilt by the HMAC facility, which is an armory, a Danish armory. It has a bit of information here listing the serial number of the weapon. It has a word, Skyette, and I'm not sure if that means soldier it was issued to or the shooter that actually targeted the rifle in. It was sighted at 300 meters, and it required 13 clicks of elevation to achieve that 300 meter zero. So let's see. Get a magnifier here. And Werenshoven Workster. I have your rifle. If you're wondering where it is, it's doing well here in the United States. So if you're curious about it, here it is. Thanks for watching.